Right, everyone, welcome to the channel. Today we are going to be doing more leak coding, so we're going to be doing heaps as we've been continuing our journey on conquering this leak coding quest. There we go. So, continuing with heaps, today we're going to do another medium, or at least attempt to do another medium. We don't know. I don't know if I'll be able to solve it. Maybe I will, maybe I won't. Let's figure that out. So, minimize myself there, and we're going to randomize and then pick the closest medium. So let's see what we get. It looks like design a food rating system. Do you see that number? It was like 2000 right there. I don't like that. Normally, the higher that this number is, the more strange the question. I've noticed that phenomenon. So let's see about this. Okay, so design a food rating system. Designing a food rating system that can do the following. Modify the rating of a food item listed in the system. Okay, so apparently each food item will have a rating, and we want to be able to modify that rating. Return the highest rated food item for a type of cuisine in the system. Okay. So we just need to return the highest. Yeah. Now implement the food ratings class. So what we need to do is create an init, a change rating, and a highest rating. Okay. Food rating, and then this is like the declaration right here. So here's all the different food rating. Is that one that we're given? No, apparently it's not. Food rating, whatever. Initializes the system. The food items are described by foods, cuisines, and ratings, all of which are of length n. Foods of I is the name of the ith food. Cuisine of I is the type of cuisine in the ith food. Ratings of I is the initial rating of the ith food. Okay. So, from what I'm seeing here, this food ratings, I'm guessing, is just this like init function. So we have foods, which is a list of strings, cuisines, which is a list of strings, and rating, which is a list of integers. And each of those three lists are going to be the same length. Okay? And the indices of all three of those arrays match up with each other. So indice 3 is all going to be the same item. So that particular item has, or is this type of food, is this cuisine, and has this rating. Okay? So now we're looking at change rating. So we're given food. Change the rating of the food item with the name food. So we need to find this food and change the rating. Okay. Highest rated returns the name of the food item that has the highest rating for the given type of cuisine. If there is a tie, return the item with the lexicographically smaller name. So I think lexicographically smaller name just means like that has less letters. Note that a string X is lexicographically smaller than a string Y if X comes before Y in dictionary order. Oh, okay, I see. So like alphabetical order, essentially. Either X is a prefix of Y or I is the first portion such that oh my goodness. These This is one of the things with Leetcode is that you just need to like there's so many of these dictionary definitions where it's like x of I of y is greater than this, and it just, even reading the problem kind of melts your mind. You're like, what is going on? And then it's a really simple concept, like, oh, alphabetical order or something like that, but they make it into this really dense dictionary definition, and you're just left kind of in a daze, like, what just happened to me? So, is the first position such that x of I does not equal y of I? So, in the two words, you keep going until there is not, or until there is a difference in the two letters. Then x of I comes before y of I in alphabetical order. So it's literally just like dictionary, or it's literally just like alphabetical order. That's all it means. But they gave this big, dense definition. Okay, so we're just trying to implement these three methods of this food ratings class. Well, what is cuisine? I don't even know what cuisine is. Is the type of cuisine the ith food is. Okay. Do we need to use that? Okay. Changes the rating of the food item with the given name food. Okay, so we just need to search for food. Highest rating returns the name of the food item that has the highest rating for the given type cuisine. So we need to search cuisine. The cuisine is going to be kind of like hamburgers or something like that, or American food or something like that. American food. And then there's going to be different types of food. For example, hamburger, hot dog, waffle, something like this. And they're all going to be of type cuisine. And now we need to search all of cuisine to get the highest rating of that particular cuisine. So I'm trying to figure out if so let's see, self dot foods equals foods, self dot cuisines equals cuisines, self dot ratings equals ratings. So I can save each of these into a class variable for the initialization, but I need to be able to parse a food, which makes me want to use something like a dictionary with the key being food and value being what? Value being something to indicate, because there's three things going on here. It's food, cuisine, and ratings. So what would the key, or what would the value be? And then here I need to search cuisine. So this makes me think that I need to have in number of heaps, where in is the number of unique cuisines. So that way I can just quickly search. Well, okay. Foods, cuisine. Well, how would I want to scam caller? There we go. How would I want to go about doing this? Maybe I can write heap q dot heap pop, but I don't actually want to pop from the heap because I want to just view. Maybe I need to go back to GPT and ask it about what are the methods available to me in heap. What are the methods available to me in heap Q for Python? Okay, so let's see if I can map any of those to what I should be using. So heap pop, heap push pop. Push is an item on the list and then returns the smallest. I don't want that. Heap replace returns the smallest item from the heap and pushes a new item. I don't need that. Heap merge in largest in smallest. Doesn't seem like there's one that is just like peak or something like that. Is there a peak method? Oh, I guess the way that I could do it is just pop and then put it back in. So do heap pop and then heap push. That's what I'm thinking. So wait, but you can easily implement a peak operation to look at the smallest element in the heap without removing it, since the smallest element in a min heap will always be the root. Okay, so I can just look at the root. I can just like do something like return my self dot my heap indexed at 0. But I need the cuisine though. So what I'm trying to do right now is just maybe figure out, if I can't figure out exactly, I can't figure out the forward direction. I'm trying to figure out the backward direction. So I'm trying to say like, okay, well, working backwards from this highest rating, what do I want to be able to do? Okay, return this. Then working backwards, how do I set that up in the initialization? So instead of working init to return, I'm doing return to init, but I'm not doing it very well either way. So, well, I think I might. Can I have like multiple heaps or something? Highest rating. Come on. Self dot cuisine. So in both cases, I am the min heap should be focused on this rating value. Okay. And I need some way to connect the rating values, right, to the food and the cuisine. So let's see. Self dot cuisine heap dictionary equals like this, and I'm gonna make key value. What do I want key? Key is going to be cuisine. Value is going to be, I could say rating, but that's not. Can I have value be like a list? Okay. So if I have key and value, so does that help me any? Well, I don't quite know if it helps me. I feel like this is the right path where I would have to keep some kind of list of something, and then I can search this dictionary by its cuisine and then return the highest element. So all of these should be like, all of these inside can be like tuples, right? And each of these, or sublists, or just like a list of lists, right? Because we do want it mutable. So we can have like list of lists, and each list contains two items. The first item is going to be rating. The second item is going to be food. Okay. And this list of lists can be heapified. So we're going to heapify this such that I go to this key and I just do heap and then return the first element, and I'll know that this is the first element right here, and I can return it wants the food, right? Return the name of the food. Yeah, so I would know, like, okay, this first element is going to be the min. Now we need to remember we'll have to do that trick where we negate the ratings so that the minimum corresponds to actually the maximum. But we'll look at this first element and say, okay, this is the maximum. And then we can just index that particular food. Okay. Now, how do we change the rating? So we figured out how to do this. Did we figure out how to do this? No. And the reason is because I can't just randomly search through those values, which is unfortunate. Well, so if I'm given a food, I would have to go through every single key, and I don't yeah, I don't even know how. So, is there some way? I feel like there should be some way, I just can't pull it out of my brain, to have two dictionaries both point to the same. But then I need to. But then I need to heapify it. So I can't have it just like point to an index or something. Well, so far with the heaps, I have been able to solve 0 mediums. Man. And I've only been doing heaps for like a week and a half now, trying every day trying to get good at heaps. It's not looking like I am doing very good right now, to be completely honest. I come on. I don't know. Man, this does not look very good. I keep like second guessing myself about if I'm making any progress, and I'm like, when would I ever be ready? And it just looks like, oh, I'll never be ready to take on a real situation where I need to do a Leetcode problem. Man. I don't know. I As I was saying yesterday, it feels like, yeah, one of the things with Leetcode is it really proves if you have that tenacity and you just don't give up and you keep moving forward even though you don't see any improvement or hope. And I definitely keep feeling that feeling, just like constantly running into a wall, not being able to improve, just like can't do it, can't do it, can't do it every single day, just getting like your self esteem grinded down, 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 down. So, anyways, I guess what we're gonna have to do is just ask. I'm not even going to. I'm gonna just get this. Yeah, just go here. Just find the solution that they give because I'm not going to be able to solve this. So the method that we're going to be using going forward right now is try to figure out how they're solving it. I'm not sure how to move forward because it feels like every single time I try to do a heap, I just fail. And am I learning anything? That's my question. Is am I actually improving? Because I almost feel like I'm not improving, which makes me think that I need to change my strategy. Perhaps I need to pay more attention to the answers and kind of memorize the answers, not because I'm trying to be able to regurgitate it, but because by studying, and that's a better word, like studying the answers more so we're gonna put this, whoops, we're gonna put this in our list of failed Leetcode problems, and this is not complete. I need to add a lot more to that, but I started doing this just to kind of keep track of, okay, I'm gonna need to come back to these questions. So significantly more failed than that, so don't worry. I know about all of my failures. I was there. I've been there. um oh my goodness. Okay. So let's go through it right now and try to figure out what they're doing, and then I will try to just put this into my head to figure out what's going on, why I failed, and how to make it successful for next time. Because I will revisit this problem. I put it in my little notes. I'm going to revisit it. I am going to figure out how I failed and how to make it successful next time. So, we have food to rating, okay, is a dictionary where food is going to be the key. Rating for food rating in zip. What? Okay. I don't understand that, but we're going to have to look into it. Zip food rating. That's weird. And then they did food to cuisine. So, and then cuisine to foods. Okay, so they're creating three dictionaries like a three-way map. Like the way that I'm envisioning it right now is kind of like a graph where with three nodes, each of them are connected, so it's like a triangle. So choo 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 choo. So you have food to ratings, food to cuisine, and then cuisine to food. Wait, do we have food to cuisine? Okay, food is up here. Food to rating. Food to rating. Food to cuisine. And then cuisine to food? Well, okay, so we actually don't have it all three connected. It's not choo choo choo. It's choo choo choo. Okay. So, but then this one's just empty. So, yeah, there's that, I guess. And then I need to figure out what this syntax right here is. Now, food cuisine in zip. Okay, here's the zip again. Foods cuisines, if not, or if cuisine not in cuisine.food. So if we haven't created this, if we haven't seen this cuisine before, we then need to do this right here. Okay, so if we have not seen the cuisine, we do cuisine to food, here's the key, the value is empty, is a list, empty list. Okay, so we're going through all of the cuisines, and for each cuisine we're creating an empty list. Then I'm guessing that list is going to be heapified. So now heap q, heap push. Oh, jeez. Okay. Self.cuisine to food, which was where? That's up here. Cuisine to food of cuisine. So this is the heap right here, and it is this thing right there. It's an empty list, and what are we pushing onto the heap? So that heap is an empty list, and we're pushing on the rating of that food. Food outside. Change rating. Okay. Old rating equals self dot food to rating. Self dot food to rating food. New rating equals new rating. I mean, there's a lot going on right here. Cuisine remove. First off, I'm just gonna ask what's happening with this. Can you fully So I'm really curious about what this zip function is doing. how that's helping me, and oh, then I'll need to figure out how to keep track of everything because there's just so much going on right there. Okay, so first step is just trying to understand this syntax. Okay. Stop trying to move too quickly. Just focus. The curly brackets indicate that it is a dictionary. Understood. The part inside the curly brackets, food rating, for foods rating. Okay, that is a dictionary comprehension. Dictionary comprehensions provide a concise way to create dictionaries. Okay, so I have not heard of this dictionary comprehension idea, so I need just put in JavaScript. Create a new note. Leetcode topics, and this one is going to be dictionary comprehensions. Okay. So I need to study dictionary comprehensions. Dictionary comprehensions provide a concise way to create dictionaries. So this is kind of like the definition of it, but I need to figure out like how it does it. Do that. And so I'll need to study that. Zip combines food and ratings into, so zip function combines food and ratings into pairs. Zip takes two or more iterables and returns an iterator of tuples. So tuples are already iterable, right? Where the ith tuple contains the ith element from each of the iterables. Okay, so kimchi miso sushi ratings 9, 7, 8. Zip will create an iterator that produces kimchi 9. Okay, so zip is like a way of combining things based off of their index and putting it together in a tuple. Okay, so I guess I get that now. So that makes sense. But there's still just like so much going on here. Okay, what to do. Do it more coffee. No, I drank both cups. Okay, so actually what I might do is first off, before I really in depth look at this, let me just do this and let me just press like, should I do run or submit? Because if I do submit, it's going to show that check mark. But I already put in my notes that we failed this one, so we'll go back to it, right? So I just don't want to press submit and then I kind of lose that data that actually I didn't. But I want to check if it's right because I don't want to study something that's wrong. So yeah, we have to submit because otherwise we're going to be studying something that is potentially wrong. So we'll see what this has to say for itself. And if it's correct, then we look at it. Time exceeded. Okay, well, good thing we didn't. What is this solutions? Okay, so like even ChatGPT's thing is wrong. so they have a Python solution. Should we kind of go through what this person has to say and see if we can understand it? I feel like most of the times when I'm doing Leetcode, what I have to do is watch a video. And maybe this is like because my reading comprehension is really low, maybe? I'm just thinking out loud, like, okay, well, what would be the reason for this? And what's the cause? And how do I improve it? How do I move forward and make myself better, right? I'm constantly looking for ways to where I have gaps in my knowledge or abilities. So I know for me, I'll watch a video and the video will be much more helpful for me to understand it. And then I will stare at the solution over and over and over. I'll try to use my subconscious. So I'll look at it as much as I can in detail, and then I will like rest, get to a what's called like hypnagogia or something. It's the threshold between awake and asleep. And I feel like you're able to mull over those ideas with your subconscious. And then all it's like a stormy sea. There's so many ideas coming like this. And then all of a sudden things just get really still. And then you're like, oh, time to go learn again. So then I go back and I re-look at it and re-get that stormy sea kind of feeling, you know? But I've all of a sudden the second time you look at it, you feel so much better and you're like you can understand it on a deeper level because it's in your subconscious. But then you get up to new things in that problem that you didn't understand and you get back to that stormy sea like oh I see new problems in it that now I don't understand, and then you just rinse and repeat, keep repeating that process. So but what I okay, so I think that the subconscious part is fine. The part I'm a little bit concerned on though is I said that I can understand things a lot better when I first do the video and not when I'm reading a solution. And that to me indicates that I might have a problem with my reading comprehension. And therefore, how do you fix that is just by doing reading and trying to understand it from the reading. So let's do that, I guess. So this one, hash maps and priority queues. Intuition. We are given 3 arrays. Yep, foods, cuisine, and ratings. We have to update foods ratings in the method change ratings. Yes, we do. One way is to search for the food in the foods array. Search for the food in the foods array. And then update the rating at the respective index in the ratings array. However, searching for food in foods array for every update will not be efficient. Yeah, because you have to search the entire list. Instead, we should keep the food's name mapped with their rating. We can use a hash map named food rating map, and this hash map will enable quick retrieval and modification of the respective food's rating. Okay, so what did that sentence just say? Instead, we should keep the food names mapped. Okay, food names. I know what that is. That is a string. And we're mapping, okay? Does that mean dictionary? The key value, something like that. With their ratings. So, tying food name to rating. key value, key, food name, value, rating. We can use a hash map named food rating, yes. And this hash map will enable quick retrieval and modification of the respective foods ratings. Understood. Because we're able to just immediately, we get the food and bam, we have the rating. And we're able to modify that value. Key, food, value, rating. To change the rating of any food, we simply update the rating stored in this food rating map. Understood. Food rating, key value. Okay. Understood. Another requirement is to return the highest rated food of a particular cuisine. In this method, highest rated. Yes, that makes sense. We are given like a classification of food, just as we were saying, the cuisine, and we want to return the highest rated food. We are given cuisines and foods array. We can group and store all foods belonging to one cuisine together beforehand. This will help prevent iterating on foods that don't belong to a given cuisine. For grouping, we can again use a hash map named cuisine food map. What was the other one? Cuisine rating, right? Food rating. Yeah. This is cuisine food map that maps cuisine name and arrays of foods belonging to that particular cuisine. Okay, so what does that sentence mean? For grouping, yes, we can again use a hash map. Using a hash map to perform grouping. So we're creating second hash map to perform the duty of grouping. Okay. Named cuisine food map. That maps cuisine name. So we're taking the cuisine name. Key, cuisine name. Value is going to be an array of foods. So food is a string. Food, string. List of strings. Value, list of strings. Strings are foods that are part of the associated keys type. This hash map will enable quick retrieval of all foods belonging to a particular cuisine. However, retrieving the highest rated food would require iterating over all foods of that particular cuisine each time. If we could maintain the food in cuisine food map array in sorted order, sorted according to ratings, it might save us time. You might be thinking of sorting the array using the built-in sort method, but if any element in the array changes, rating, yeah, like that's another thing. Like if you have if you have your food cuisines and ratings and then later you change a rating, you need to change that in the associated cuisine list thing. Okay, so we can't use sort. Why? If any element of the array changes, rating of any food changes, we will have to again sort the whole array using sort. This method makes the algorithm inefficient. This hints that we should store the food of a particular cuisine in a max heap instead of an array. We will use priority queues, which are internally implemented using a heap. Each element of the priority queue will be an object of class food integer. Oh my gosh. To keep the appropriate element on the top of the priority queue, we will use a custom comparator to define the logic for comparing two elements. Since the priority queue will keep the elements sorted based on their ratings, you might be thinking, when we modify the rating of the food, do we need to remove the food with the old rating? What is, I don't know. For example, if we change rating of food X from 10 to 1, the old data 10X in the queue might become the highest rating, which it shouldn't. Should we remove it in this case? How long is this explanation? Okay. Here's the algorithm, and here's the implementation. Complexity analysis. Approach number 2. There's a second approach. Oh my gosh. I'm thinking, like, is it even worth getting into Fang? I mean, it is. We're gonna do it. Okay. It's worth it. Okay, let's read this. I'm gonna read it. I'm gonna try to put things in my subconscious, and then I'm going to go and get in, and I'm gonna rest and see if I can get it into my subconscious, and then I'm going to keep looking at the answer until I can kind of comprehend it. And I'll definitely be making another video on this where I try to do it. Okay. First of all, searching for elements in the priority queue is a time-consuming task. As in the worst case, you need to iterate through all of them. Okay, secondly, we can avoid deletions of old. Okay, whatever. If we fetch elements from the priority queue, then there are only two cases. Either the element has the correct rating. Sure, one food can only have one rating. We can verify the fetched elements. I mean, there's just so much going on. Like, that's what I can't figure out, like, what's going on in this problem. There's too much happening. And then a photo. And then also remember, and then more photos. Okay, algorithm. A whole bunch of stuff. So, here's the answer. So, what are we actually doing? Food rating, food name. Food rating, food name. Def. What is LT? Is that part of it? Overload the less than operator for comparison. Why on earth would we... What? Overload? If food ratings are the same, sort based on their name. Man. this is something to do with that thing about lexiconal even bigger. I don't know. I don't care. I don't know. That's not what I'm focusing on right now. I don't even understand the dictionary parts of it. This one is not of my concern right now. I have I am so lost on the other things that that is not my concern right now. Self so food rating map, food cuisine map, cuisine food map, and then but this one is default dict, and this one is just a dictionary. What's the difference? Default dict, okay. Versus a dictionary. So for each of the items in food, we food rate mapping. Man, there's a lot going on. So, I mean, on one hand, I feel like I've kind of do I want to use the word wasted my entire Christmas break? So, I was able to take off what 2 weeks of work because it's the end of the year, and I could have done something fun, but you every single day I spent hours and hours and hours trying to learn Leetcode and get better at it and just grinding Leetcode specifically for heaps, but I'm still awful, and it makes me feel like I just wasted my entire break. I could have been doing something fun. I mean, I guess that's kind of why people get into a job and then just coast, right? Like what I'm doing is not, it's difficult, maybe. I don't know. I feel like I wasted my break, honestly. So, do I want to keep going? Yeah. Well, I guess what I'm going to be doing now is I'm going to have to I'll try to put this there's so much. There's so much. That's how how am I going to keep track of that? And I have a lot of other problems that I've failed, and I need to go and study their solution too. So I might go do that. I might just go try to study the solutions. I don't know. Is it just not working that I just keep going at it and at it and at it, doing a Leetcode video at least one every single day for the past for the past like 2 weeks because I've been on break. I've been doing like 4 or 5 Leetcodes per day, it feels like. But I don't think I'm improving. Maybe it's a problem with my strategy. Maybe I'm just. I don't know, man. Like this. Like. I. And it just keeps getting into my head, like, is getting into Fang even worth it? Like that's the question that keeps like pew 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 at me. Just like in my into my brain. I'm like, is it worth it? Is it worth it? Is it worth it? But it'll be worth it. It will be worth it. Come on. Just move forward. Don't stop. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Keep going. Okay. Yeah. So, moving forward, what I'm going to do is like this. I'm going to continue these YouTube videos because, as I said, I set a goal. Every single day, I am going to attempt a Leetcode. I set this goal. I'm not going to give up. I will continue to do it. I will do a video every single day of Leetcode. I will keep pursuing my goal. Keep pursuing it. Keep going forward. Then also I need to spend more time outside of these videos actually learning the solutions, because I feel like that's where I'm making my mistake, is that I'm doing a lot of videos, I'm doing a lot of attempts at problems, but I'm not then learning from my mistakes. And I think that possibly that's why I am not improving. So I'm gonna sign off on this video, and then I am going to start the process of studying, because I feel like that there's a lot for me to be doing, and I need to kind of, as I mentioned, put it into my subconscious. I need to really study the correct solutions, put it into my brain, learn from my mistakes, and not just keep doing attempt after attempt after attempt after attempt, because right now I'm just attempting, failing. I'm looking at the solution, but apparently it's not getting in because I'm not studying it outside of the video, right? I do my video and then I kind of move on to the next problem, and that's obviously, as I think I'm seeing right now, not effective. So moving forward, that's how I'm going to try to mitigate the issue which I am currently noticing and experiencing. So, anyways, thank you guys for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed it, I guess, maybe. I don't know. But, anyways, I will see you guys tomorrow with another Leetcoding video. And I hope you have a wonderful day. My name is Timothy Lee Grant, and I will see you tomorrow.